Good morning, everybody. It's Paul here with Endurance Longevity. It's 3:15 in the morning. I just woke up about 5 minutes ago. Uh, Today's my big day. I've got a long run planned. It's a 50K. I'd say the only thing I'm nervous about today is the burrito that I ate last night.
Hey everyone, Paul here. Got my buddy Fatty. He's a little camera shy, but he trimmed his beard for this morning, so I'm super grateful for him. He picked me up at 4:30. We came here to the start line. I am admittedly nervous. Fatty's been making jokes how just kind of double checking all the pockets, making sure everything's there, and that's definitely true. Definitely not nervous about the burrito anymore. Fatty made sure I stopped at the QT on the way here. They got some porta potties, so feeling good about that. Again, it's just the pressure of the times, the pressure of the cutoffs, and I don't know, just making sure I don't let anybody down. So yeah, cheers. About to start here in the next half hour, and I'll keep posted along the way. Thanks.
4, 3, 2, 1, carry on. 50K, go get them.
Look at that 50K runner right there.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to give everyone a recap from yesterday's race. I actually did a little better than I thought I would. I finished in 7.5 hours. The physical demands of the race were a bit tough, and honestly, it's because I was underprepared going in. I purposefully didn't train as hard or as disciplined as I probably could have. And I know that there's a lot of fanfare around just get after it and making sure that, nothing gets between you and your training. And I've done that before. I did that for a long time with triathlon. I did that a long time with previous running events and things that I've done. And in this particular race, I just wanted to approach it as something that would get me into shape, something that would create fulfillment and joy for me, in a sense of working towards a goal, but not necessarily something that put me in a position where I was sacrificing relationships with others or sacrificing my well-being. So definitely get an A+ for my training going in my opinion, and relative to my plan. And I finished, and honestly, that was just such an awesome experience. I have a lot of gratitude coming out of yesterday. And if I'm being sincere, the fact that my wife was there, Fatty and Alyssa were there, two very close friends of mine. It just meant a lot to me to have a support system. Like every 10 miles I'm coming through and I'm seeing them, and they make me laugh, and they help shove some, goos in my pockets and then tell me to run faster. It was just an awesome opportunity for me to open myself up enough to feel loved. And that's a difficult thing for me. Don't know why, something I'm constantly working on, but the fact that I had 3 people there that mean a lot to me, was very special. The other thing that I just want to highlight is there's a lot of faces in ultra running, and I got to meet some really amazing people yesterday on the trail. I'm actually a pretty big introvert. I don't get out there and talk much, and if you do see me socializing and shaking hands and kissing babies, it's a forced thing, and it's because I know it's important for me to do, and I do get fulfillment from it. I just get really tired from boring relationships and I would guess you could say very vanilla engagements. So when I went out on the trail yesterday and we were starting off, I met some really amazing people, and we're all huddled up around some heaters and people are saying good morning, and I'm chit-chatting like, hey, how's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling? And it wasn't like to, a lot of people. It was like to one person or maybe 2 people. And I found that there were several people who had some of the similar apprehensions about the race that I did. They were nervous. They hadn't done the race before. They hadn't done that distance. And it just opened the opportunity for me to connect with some people that I never knew. and I might never ever see again, and just kind of chit chat through um, how we're gonna support each other through the race, or what the strategy is for that person going through the race. It's funny, there's a couple of elite people who ran, at least one elite person who ran this particular event. And you can see that people who are competitive don't have the same level of engagement and socialization as those who are there just for the experience and the camaraderie. I've been running trails since about 2002, 2003 in college. I never considered myself a trail runner until about 2014. But the people in that community are special. And I can't tell you how many times I've gone out to trail run, or just, been out and stopped to socialize with somebody and say hello. Like, the community is very welcoming. There's very little ego in the sport. And I think it's because trail running itself at certain distances shatters that ego. Like, you are literally struggling at times. And that next runner who comes up behind you, who you've been trying to stay ahead of the whole race, comes up behind you and says, "Hey, how you doing? Like, let's tag on and go." There were two specific trail angels that I had on the trail yesterday. One was a gentleman, mid 60s. The dude's been racing since like the mid 90s in trail. He's probably out there when they had the handhelds and the duct tape and jean shorts and running and Converse. Really good dude. I hope to connect with him for a cup of coffee afterwards. And I met him early on. The dude's run 225 ultras since the mid to late 90s, which is freaking incredible to me. That is just so awesome. But he just held the space. He's like, "Hey, how are you? What's your name? What's your plan for today? How long you been running?" And he just shared a lot of his story of how he got into running, and very supportive. And I ended up, we were going uphill, and he had a little bit of a calf injury, and I felt good, so I just kept going. But every time we did the machine wash loop, I just came back around and saw him and gave him high five. And what a gem. Like, at the beginning of that race, I was so nervous, not knowing what to expect. And he just put my mind at peace to say, "Hey, whether you're dead freaking last or you're first, it don't matter. You're out here. So have fun and enjoy the experience." And I just loved that. Like, what an amazing individual. The other was a young lady who I started off with, and then I kept going on some hills where she was pacing herself with a very deliberate strategy. And towards the end of the race, the last loop, she came up on me, and she had a walk run strategy. I hit a wall, and she's like, "Let's go." And I just followed her for about 8 miles. And she, in my opinion, was a trail angel and helped get me through a very physically tough time and mentally tough time. So, towards the end of that race, I just hung around for a quick minute. She was about a minute behind me at the finish line, and we congratulated her and we go about our way. But it just got me thinking about the faces of ultra running, like the YouTube community and the platforms that many of us love. And trust me, I love them. I love watching Jim Walmsley movies, Hans Troyer movies, like even like these big YouTube influencers and the people who you don't know, but then they create some content and they become media. They put great content out there, and I love that. But there are probably tens of thousands of people out there, just average Jims and average Janes, who are just really freaking awesome people who have been doing this forever. And they are just positive people. They have great smiles on their faces, great backgrounds. And I just felt super connected yesterday, super connected, from, one of my best friends who brought me there, to, the last maybe quarter mile. My wife ran out and met me and, told me to stop complaining and get across the finish line. And that was great. To, these two trail angels. And even there were other people I was high-fiving as we were passing and doing, the machine wash thing. And it was just awesome to be able to support some other people and in turn feel that support. So, yeah, I really just love the community. And with that said, I just have a special shout out to my good friend Connor Foley. He's been running for a while. What an awesome dude. Like, throughout the event, he was texting me saying, "Hey, great job, you're doing great," super supportive. Someone I just consider a brother, and I'm so grateful for his support and guidance along the way. So I just share all this to say, like, it's more of amusing, so to speak, for how I feel about trail running and what yesterday was like. But outside of that, can't really walk this morning. I have to wear some flip flops to help with the bottoms of my feet, but by the end of the day, I'm sure I'll warm up and I'll be fine. So now it's focusing on recovery. I'll probably get a little run in with my dog, just to get the legs moving. And then, yeah, it's back to the rat race. I've got a 20-miler in 2 weeks, and that's Connor's race. Connor looks like he's starting his race director debut, and I'm super pumped to be able to run that. So I'm just realizing I'm going to set the intention of meeting some really awesome people and socializing during these events and just making the most of it as far as the community goes. So thanks for listening. There's probably only 2 people who listen to this anyways, and one of them's my mom, and the other one's probably Chelsea, who's going to put it together. So love you guys. Take care. Bye.